Look around. You see your phone, your laptop, cards, cameras, QR codes. But you're missing the most important thing. You're inside a digital camp. Already. Right now. No fences but restrictions. No guards but 24/7 surveillance. You're no longer just a human, you're an ID, an asset, a chain of data. Your name? It's not really a name anymore. It's a tag, a label, your email, your preferences. It's all code. Code the system sells, analyzes, manipulates. You think you choose what to watch? No. The numbers choose you. Your route to work? A number. How many steps you've taken? A number. Where you looked, what you bought, what you didn't. All digitized. You're an asset inside the matrix. A living organism stored inside a digital wallet. But here's the question. Who owns you? Who controls your behavior when even your emotions can be predicted? While you still believe the world is freedom, the system keeps updating its firmware. And every click you make, it's not just a click, it's a signature on a new contract. For unconscious slavery, a digital cage, you don't hear it locking. Because there's no click, no guard, no barbed wire. There's only convenience. First, bonuses for signing up. Then, access only through the app. Then, notifications, ratings, points, Face ID, voice input. You thought it was for you, but it was about you. Every convenience cuts off your path back. Every new feature is another digital stitch binding your freedom to the system. You're no longer needed as a human. You're needed as a user, a data point on a graph, a biological asset giving predictable responses. The system isn't afraid of you while you sleep, but wake up, and you become a threat. Have you noticed how quickly those who resist the algorithm are shut down? They don't shoot, they just unplug you. Block, ban, no access, no card, no voice. You're not a person with rights. You're a digital avatar that can be erased quietly without a trace. And if one day you think, what if I just walk away from all this? There might be nowhere left to go. You've sat too long in the digital chair. You've forgotten how to breathe without a filter, how to think without a prompt. You believe you're free, that everything you see in your feed is random, that ads are just marketing, that news is just facts. But if that were true, why do thoughts appear in your head that you never even formed? Because it's not people being controlled, it's attention. And wherever your attention goes, so goes your energy, so goes your reality. That's why the digital system isn't built on hardware. It's built on engagement. Every click, every second, every emotion, hunted. Not to sell you something, but to rewrite your worldview. You're not a user, you're an asset, a behavioral pattern, a statistic, an algorithm under observation. Now look at China. This isn't the future, this is now. Cross the street at the wrong place as minus points. Don't greet your neighbor, minus points. Listen to the wrong music, like the wrong post, talk to the wrong people, and you can be restricted from trains, planes, loans, even education. Digital discipline disguised as care. Control disguised as convenience. They don't forbid. They just disconnect. From the city, from access, from rights. You can exist, but you're no longer living. And the scariest part? This isn't enforced with violence. It's enforced with habit. You choose the system yourself, because the alternative is unclear, uncomfortable, inconvenient. You walk into a store and don't even notice. The system already knows how much money you have, what you like, what you had for breakfast, who you messaged at night, what videos you watched to the end. Your private life isn't private. Your shadow no longer comes from light. It comes from data. You've become transparent. Every time you click I agree, you sign away your power. Every search you make, a brick in the digital prison built from the inside. You're not just giving away data. You're giving away yourself. Now imagine, you are the system. You have a person's profile. You know when they're vulnerable, depressed, distracted, when they're ready to buy, believe, or break. What do? You send the ad at the perfect moment. You offer solutions when they're desperate. You feed them an enemy to channel their pain. The system doesn't destroy directly. It simply knows where your buttons are. And the most ironic part? This isn't a conspiracy. It's business. You didn't even notice when the digital world became your everyday life. First a phone, then a feed, and now nearly every emotion you have has become data. What you love, known. What you fear, recorded. What to show you so you don't leave, pre-calculated. This is how the system works. It learns from your reactions. It's not humans teaching machines. It's machines teaching how to influence humans. You're in a game designed to hold you. And if you can't stop scrolling, it's not laziness or procrastination. It's a digital hook operating at full power. You're not given what you need. You're given what will stick. And so, the cycle is born. Interest, trigger, habit. But every game has an exit, and you know it. The fact that you're here means you've started to see, which means you can walk away, not from the world, but into yourself. You might have sensed this already. You've been assessed, not by your soul's depth, but by your clicks, movements, interests. You're no longer just a person. You're a digital pulse, monitored. Every choice you make, no matter how small, leaves a trace. And that trace becomes code. It's okay. It's just a game. But in this game, you're either a creator or a triggered response. You think you're choosing. But most of the time, you're being chosen. Algorithms, repeats, random emotions that aren't random. The system doesn't push directly. It nudges, through words, colors, familiar faces, and you, without knowing how, take the exact step it wants. Not because you want to, but because the right impulse was activated. But you have a powerful weapon. Awareness. When you begin to see, you exit the autopilot. Even the Matrix doesn't know how to control someone who sees. You become not just data, but an anomaly. You don't need to run. You don't need to fight. Fighting is another trap. Because when you fight, you play by their rules. And those rules are older than you. They were written long ago. Resistance is also code. They knew you'd rebel, scream, try to save others. That's how they trigger the next sequence. Anger, fear, exhaustion, disappointment, everything that lowers your frequency. But there's a path they didn't plan for. The path of awareness. Silence. Pause. Presence. When you stop reacting, you become invisible to the system. You step outside the managed program. You become the architect of the field you breathe in. Your power isn't in aggression or blind faith. It's in calmly knowing who you are. Instead of labels, observation. Instead of burnout, calibration. Instead of I must, I choose. And in that state, you are no longer the person running in the cage. You're the one who sees the cage and stops feeding it. You are not a part of the matrix. You are the code that can change everything from within. And that's exactly what scares the system most. Even now, you might ask yourself, why are conversations around consciousness, breathwork, inner presence, being shadow banned, filtered, redirected? Why are spiritual practices, deep self-reflection, body awareness, slowly being treated as unnecessary or misinformation? Because awakened people are not needed. You are no longer useful to the system when you don't react, don't fear, don't consume endlessly. When you simply live consciously, in the moment. Today, that alone is becoming a threat. Consciousness is almost a rebellion. What's banned isn't dangerous. It's what can set you free. So think. Ask yourself, who benefits from you not hearing yourself? Who is disrupted when you begin to feel, to awaken, to reconnect? Why would the system want you conscious if it can no longer control you? You are not a glitch in the system. You are the source code of a new reality. Thank you for being here. You are not alone. And as long as we keep asking the right questions, the Matrix can't deliver its final answer.